Across Africa, a powerful force is rising. Not oil or diamonds, but something far more valuable. It's youth. Over 60% of the population is under 25, a tidal wave of potential ready to reshape the continent. They are the artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders of tomorrow, Africa's greatest treasure. It's time to see our youth as the vibrant heart of Africa's future. For every young African, two paths lie ahead, one of purpose and nation-building, the other of manipulation and destruction. Will you be a builder, a dreamer, a force for progress, or a pawn in someone else's game? The Africa 2030 vision calls you to choose courage, unity, and hope. The future of a continent rests in your hands. The Africa 2030 vision is more than just an idea. It is a bold and uncompromising declaration. It is a line drawn in the sand. It is a new covenant that we are making with the future. We are declaring a new path forward for the youth of this continent, a path that leads away from exploitation and towards empowerment. We say, with one unified voice, that the old ways of doing politics are no longer acceptable. The days of using our children as cannon fodder in political wars are over. We are charting a course where the involvement of youth in politics is not only encouraged, but is also protected from the poisons of the past. Our declaration is simple, yet it is revolutionary. We say yes to youth in politics, but we say never again as political weapons. We affirm the right and the responsibility of every young person to participate in the democratic process. We say yes to voting, yes to leadership, and yes to peaceful and constructive community engagement. But with that same breath, we shout a resounding no to the tools of the old guard. We say no to thuggery, no to violence, and no to the senseless destruction of property and lives. Our future must be built with ballots, not with bullets, with ideas, not with intimidation. This chapter is a roadmap. It is a guide for how young Africans can reclaim their power, their dignity, and their rightful role in shaping a political future that honors their generation. It is about transforming frustration into focused action and turning anger into advocacy. We will explore the sacred power of the vote and why it must be protected. We will uncover the manipulative tactics used to weaponize youth and provide the tools to resist them. We will show that real strength is found not in breaking things down, but in building communities up, piece by piece, with integrity and vision. The time for passive observation is over. The era of being a victim of the system is behind us. This is a call to action for a generation to rise up, not in violent rebellion, but in a revolution of values and character. It is a call to become purpose-driven leaders who are guided by conscience, not by cash. This is our moment to redefine what it means to be young, African, and politically active. Together, we will build a political landscape that does not just serve the interests of a few, but one that blesses the generations to come, creating an Africa that is truly for all its people. Turning 18 is more than just a new age. You inherit a sacred trust, a key to your future, your right to vote. This right is a treasure, a testament to the resilience of our people and their belief in democracy. Voting is your power, your voice, your chance to shape your nation's future. Don't let cynicism steal your power. Your vote is not just a mark on paper. It's your tool for change. If you don't vote, you're not neutral. You're handing your power to someone else. Your absence is a vote for the status quo. Your vote is your ticket to have a seat at the table, your proof of citizenship in action. When millions of youth vote, you become a force that cannot be ignored. Your vote is your voice. Getting your voter card is just the beginning. True power comes from being informed. Study the candidates, look past slogans, and ask, who will truly invest in our generation? Choose leaders who offer real opportunities, not just handouts. An informed vote shapes your future and your nation's. Your journey as a voter is most powerful when shared. One determined young voter is a spark. Millions are a wildfire for change. Encourage your friends and family to join you. The power of one becomes the power of many. Use social media to mobilize, share facts, and inspire action. Together, you build a movement too strong to ignore. In modern African politics, the true tragedy isn't just corruption, it's the weaponization of youth. Politicians see frustrated young people not as a constituency to serve, but as a resource to exploit. They hand out cash and gifts, creating loyalty and obligation, drawing youth into a web of manipulation. Tasks start small, putting up posters, making noise at rallies, but soon escalate to violence and intimidation. In the end, dreams are lost, and youth become disposable tools in a game they can never win. For a brief moment, young people feel important, close to power, with a little cash in their pocket. But the high fades fast. The true price is their future, traded for almost nothing. Your future is precious. Don't sell it for a politician's paycheck. To solve a problem, we must first understand its roots. Young people are not born violent. The seeds of destructive behavior are planted in desperation and hopelessness. A corrupt politician exploits this hunger for hope and dignity. We must address the root causes, creating real opportunities and empowering youth with skills for a better future. True hope comes from self-development, community, and belief in a peaceful tomorrow. The most powerful word a young person can learn is a firm, resolute no. This word breaks the chains of manipulation and reclaims your future from those who would use you for their own gain. When you refuse a politician's offer to trade your dignity for cash, you choose your own destiny. Ask yourself, will they stand by you if you're hurt or arrested? The answer is almost always no. The moment you're no longer useful, you're abandoned. Saying no inspires others. It creates a new peer pressure, one for integrity, not violence. We must celebrate those who say no. They are the true heroes, the real warriors for our nation's soul. By choosing peace over payment, you vote for a future built on dignity and hope. Africa 2030 is building a culture where it's honorable to create, not destroy. The power to say no to violence is the power to say yes to a future of limitless possibility. Africa 2030's message is redemption, not condemnation. Many drawn into political violence are victims of a broken system, not villains. Your past doesn't define your future. There's always a way back. The journey starts by cutting ties with negative influences and seeking positive mentors. Redirect your energy. The same courage and leadership once used destructively can now build communities. Organize cleanups, lead youth groups, or advocate for change. Your strengths are valuable. Share your story to warn and inspire others. Your testimony is powerful because you've lived it. By turning your past into a lesson, you protect your community. This is the journey from political weapon to community treasure. Redemption is possible. Choose to be a builder, not a breaker. Destruction is easy. True leadership is hard. It takes no talent to destroy, but real strength is found in building and inspiring others. Africa 2030 champions the courage to create, not break. Burning a building is quick. Organizing a town hall takes vision and effort. Builders stitch communities together, while breakers tear them apart. The real leaders are quietly working in their neighborhoods, teaching, organizing, creating jobs. They may lack titles, but they possess the most vital quality: a commitment to improvement. Every young person must ask, am I a builder or a breaker? Your answer defines your legacy and your community's future. Choose to build. A life of purpose, dignity, and honor awaits. Builders work from a blueprint, a vision for a better future. A true leader's vision is a force for justice, opportunity, and peace. Breakers act from grievance and anger, manipulated by those who offer no real solutions. Africa 2030 challenges youth to shift from grievance to greatness. Builders see possibilities, not just problems, and take responsibility for change. This mindset means using intellect and creativity, not violence. Debate, research, and ideas, not mobs, drive real progress. Leading with vision lays the foundation for a peaceful, just Africa. Draw your blueprint for change. Start with small, concrete actions. The future belongs to those who build, not those who break. A new breed of leadership is rising, youthful, dynamic, and visionary. The old stereotype of politics as a game for the elite is fading. Young leaders across Africa are moving from activism to positions of power. Examples abound: ministers, envoys, journalists. Youth are shaping the continent's future. Leadership is about ideas, integrity, and service, not age or wealth. The digital age empowers young candidates to reach and mobilize millions. Africa 2030 is clearing the path. Youth councils, leadership boot camps, and think tanks are training tomorrow's leaders. We must push for laws that lower barriers to entry, making politics accessible to all. The youth are not just the future, they are the present. It's time for the system to recognize and embrace this new reality. Turning your back on old formulas takes courage, a kind of visionary madness. As Thomas Sankara said, you cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain amount of madness. It's the courage to be different, to reject the failed ways of the past, and to boldly chart a new course. Africa needs a generation mad enough to believe they can build a continent free from corruption, poverty, and violence. In the past, your voice depended on newspapers or TV gatekeepers. Now, with a smartphone, you can reach thousands instantly, no permission needed. Platforms like TikTok and YouTube have democratized influence, letting you shape conversations and spark change. The Africa 2030 vision sees this as a chance for youth to reclaim power and build a brighter future. Digital power is a double-edged sword. It can build or destroy, enlighten or mislead. With great influence comes great responsibility. We must use these tools wisely, rejecting fake news, cyberbullying, and hate. Let's be digital citizens who uplift, verify, and act with integrity, because our online actions shape our world. A powerful hashtag can start a conversation, but real change happens when online energy turns into offline action. The most effective young activists use digital tools to organize, educate, and achieve real-world goals, moving beyond clicktivism. Create content that empowers, like infographics or live videos explaining your country's constitution and voter registration. Ultimately, the most powerful act is to show up on Election Day and cast a peaceful, informed vote. As we look towards the Africa of 2030, we envision the rise of a new kind of citizen, the responsible, mature, and politically engaged digital citizen. This is a young person who understands that their online identity and their civic identity are intertwined. They see their social media profile not just as a space for personal expression, but as a platform for public good. They are creators, curators, and critical thinkers who actively contribute to building a healthier, more informed, and more democratic digital ecosystem. This is the generation that will clean up the digital town square, making it a safe and productive space for political discourse for years to come. This digital citizen is, above all, a champion of the truth. In an era awash with misinformation, they take on the personal responsibility of being a fact-checker within their own network. They learn how to spot the signs of a fake news story, the sensationalist headlines, the lack of credible sources, the manipulated images. They refuse to be a pawn in someone else's disinformation campaign, and they gently and respectfully correct their peers who inadvertently share false information. They build a reputation as a trusted source, so when they speak, people listen. They understand that a democracy cannot survive without a shared foundation of truth, and they work every day to defend it. Furthermore, the mature digital citizen uses their platform to build bridges, not walls. They actively resist the temptation to retreat into an echo chamber where they only hear opinions they already agree with. Instead, they follow people with different political viewpoints to understand their perspectives. They engage in cross-tribal and cross-religious dialogues, using their platforms to showcase shared humanity and common goals. They tell stories that break down stereotypes and promote unity. They are the digital peacemakers, actively working to counteract the forces of division that seek to tear their country apart for political gain. This is the ultimate expression of political maturity in the digital age. It is not about having the most followers or the most viral post. It is about the quality and integrity of your digital footprint. It is about choosing to be a builder in the online world, just as you choose to be a builder in the offline world. The Africa 2030 vision is a call to every young person to become this kind of digital citizen. Let our generation be remembered as the one that harnessed the incredible power of technology, not for selfish gain or destructive purposes, but to build a legacy of truth, unity, and progress for the entire continent. We stand at a crossroads, a defining choice for every young African. Will you be a tool or a treasure? Will you build a new continent, or let your potential be used by others? The future is yours. Choose integrity, unity, and courage. Your decision will shape Africa's destiny. There is a dangerous lie that is often told to young people. It is the lie that you are merely the leaders of tomorrow. This phrase, while sounding hopeful, can be a subtle way of telling you to wait, to be patient, to stay on the sidelines while the current leaders continue to make decisions that will shape your entire life. The Africa 2030 vision is here to shatter that lie. We declare a new truth. The future is not some distant destination that we are waiting to arrive at. The future is not ahead of us. The future is now. It is created in the choices you make today, the actions you take this afternoon, and the standards you set for yourself this very evening. This is a call to rise. It is a call to shake off the slumber of apathy and the paralysis of despair. Africa cannot wait any longer for a generation to awaken. The challenges we face, unemployment, corruption, inadequate education, and insecurity, are urgent. They require the full force of your energy, your innovation, and your moral clarity right now. We cannot afford another election cycle where the youth are used as pawns. We cannot afford another year where the brightest minds feel they have to leave the continent to find opportunities. The time for waiting is over. The time for building is here. And it begins with you. Let this generation be known as the one that rose in a new way. Let the youth of Africa rise, not as thugs, but as thinkers. People who use their intellect to solve problems and their reason to persuade others. Let them rise, not as fighters, but as founders. People who start new businesses, new community organizations, and new political movements rooted in justice and service. Let them rise, not as a political tool to be bought and sold, but as a continental treasure to be nurtured and celebrated. This is the new model of youth engagement that will transform our nations from the ground up. This transformation starts in your mind. It begins with the belief that you are not powerless. It grows with the conviction that you are not worthless. It matures with the understanding that your contribution matters. Do not wait for a politician to empower you. Empower yourself through knowledge. Do not wait for a leader to save you. Become the leader your community is waiting for. The power to change Africa is not in the government houses alone. It is dormant within you, waiting to be unleashed. The future is now, and its creation is your most urgent and sacred task. The ultimate destiny of Africa does not rest in the hands of the current political elite. It does not depend on foreign aid or international conferences. The future of this great continent rests squarely in the hands of its greatest asset, its most abundant resource, its most precious treasure, an awakened, empowered, and morally strong generation of young Africans. You are the demographic majority. You are the engine of innovation. You are the carriers of a new dream. When this generation fully understands its power and begins to wield it with wisdom and integrity, no force on earth will be able to stop Africa's rise. This awakening is what Pastor Alex Ocheme and the entire team at Oyiche Cybertech Solutions are dedicated to fostering through the Africa 2030 vision. We see a continent where youth are the primary drivers of political and economic transformation. We envision a future where young people are celebrated not for their capacity for violence, but for their capacity for vision. A future where the halls of parliament are filled with young men and women who entered politics not to enrich themselves, but to serve their people with honor and distinction. This is not a fantasy. It is a destiny that is within our reach. This vision is a collective effort. We extend our deepest gratitude to all our supporters across every nation in Africa and around the world. Your belief in this mission gives us strength. Your partnership makes this work possible. And to you, the young person reading this, the one who holds the future in your hands, we thank you for taking this journey with us. You are the reason for this vision. You are the hope of our continent. Carry this message in your heart. Share it with your friends. Live it out in your community. Let the principles of integrity, service, and peaceful engagement be the guiding stars of your life. Let the final word be this: you are a nation builder. You were born for such a time as this. Do not let anyone convince you otherwise. Rise up, young Africa. Rise up and build. Rise up and lead. Rise up and transform your world. The work is great, the challenges are many, but your potential is greater still. The Africa of 2030 will be a reflection of the choices you make today. Let's make it a future that all of humanity will look upon with wonder and admiration. The future begins now. It begins with you.